Forget Red Square, Moscow City and the Kremlin, where even most Russians comes as a tourist. Today I want to show you ordinary, medium-sized town in Russia where living my grandma, Obninsk. First, you need to take the underground train, metro, and then take the overground train. And yeah, be prepared for a human traffic jam like that. I do not understand why there are so many people here outside of a peak hour. It's the middle of the working day, why? Then take a minibus. We call them Marshrutka, and they are not available in every city.
Я сказала, стартуем!
Finally, get off at the correct stop and walk home. We almost reached the house of my grandma. This is a typical road from a bus stop to somebody's home. As a child, I spent every summer in this courtyard when I was sent to my grandparents. So far, this is the first look at the typical courtyard in Obninsk, and then we will look at all their diversity. But first, let's go to grandma's house. First, you need to pass the simplest security system, the domophone. If you translate it literally, it's the house phone. But for you it is intercom, I think. Бабу лет внук. It is a typical entrance hall. Sometimes we call it Padik. Not bad elevator. But before it was replaced, the elevator was creaking and creepy. Just trust me, dude. Привет, бабуля.
Привет, привет. Ты открывай звонок.
Ты в магазине была.
Да. Привет, привет.
After meeting you at the entrance, you need to do the necessary actions. First, take off your shoes. Yes, it's very important. House must be clean. And if floor is cold, you can always wear slippers. And of course, you need to be inspected by a chief inspector for some dope. I don't know. Anyway, after the long journey, I need to eat well. And all grandmothers in Russia literally specialize in this.
Чай можешь взять.
Спасибо.
Попробуешь. Можешь сыр вот этот порезать.
Давай я помогу. Layout of my grandmother's apartment is shaped like the Russian letter sh. I will give you a little room tour. Grandma's room is at the end of the hall. There are tons of books here and I have no idea if anyone has read even one of them. And he is a treasure of memories. A photo album. From time to time we look at those photos. And here a bunch of sewing tools. My grandma loves to sew. Unfortunately, the carpet on the wall is long gone, but I will definitely hang it up at home. After all, it adds to the atmosphere and provides at least some sound insulation. Kitchens in Panelka are usually small, but it is more than enough for two of us. There was a time when the five of us used to eat here regularly. Finally, my main fetish in these apartments is a huge balcony. Just look at that. And it extends all the way to the edge of the kitchen. Objectively, it's not a practical, as if kitchen has been extended instead of the balcony space, but it's an interesting solution. Okay, it is time to show you a typical town in Russia. I will also show you a Padik, by the way. If your neighbors are aesthetes, you may find beauty like this. One of the residents on this floor is a flower lover, which is why it is so beautiful here. If there are only a few people on the floor, everyone knows each other and you feel more responsible and careful about your environment. Finally, we go outside and explore a typical district of the city. Obninsk is Russia's first science city. It is called Naukograd. And this city became a Naukograd 3 days before the world's first nuclear power plant began operating here. On 1954, in June, about 130,000 people live here. Hey man, did the word nuclear make you tense up just now? Now that I have your attention, I kindly request you push like button, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for all videos. Let's go see the houses. Let's start with the panel houses, of course. We call them Panelka. They are made from ready-to-build concrete panels and built like Lego parts. And these buildings make up a huge part of buildings in Russia, not only in Obninsk. And even Panelka's buildings vary. They are 5 and 9 floor buildings, different series, and even modern panel buildings, and I don't like it. I mean, it's better than if there was an old Panelka of the same height, but not much better. They're just a nice district kindergarten. Every yard near these houses is distinctive and contains impressive urban solutions. But I want to start with the boss of this area, the district school. Yes, we play English football in Russia. A couple of playgrounds, and there is also a swimming pool inside. Just reminding, Obninsk is not even a regional center. But not every school have such a scope, unfortunately. Speaking of ordinary yards, not all of them are equally good. We have some like that, whoa, nice! And there are some like that. But it's good that all the courtyards are next to each other, so it's not a problem to walk to the nearest one and have fun there. Let's move to the courtyard of my mom's friend's son, where as usual is much better. And it was only during the video editing that I realized that meme son of my mother's friend is native Russian and has no analogs in English. Okay, let me explain. All our mothers from time to time say something like that. But my friend's son, he's studying only on 5s. And he goes to 3 sports sections and he helps his parents and he takes cat from trees and he works 2 jobs. But you can't not... Блять. But you cannot even take a math test for 5 and clean up house after school. Let's go back to the courtyards. There is everything here for kids, endless energy, and even a little more. Hey, what's that weird thing in the background? Ah, it's ancient artifacts from our ancestors. A carpet frame, or a carpet rack. In the past, people would hang carpets on them and beat them to remove dust and dirt. Yeah, in those days not everyone could afford a vacuum cleaner, so it was another place for socializing. I did not experience that time, so in my childhood I just climbed and jumped here. Now, of course, these frames are no longer needed, but no one is going to dismantle them, and maybe that is for the best. Let them stand as a reminder of times past. And if this photo is to be believed, even in 2012 someone went out and beat the carpet, probably as a ritual. But another artifact of our ancestors has been dismantled in many places. But especially for you, I found the last surviving one. Well, at least half of it. Man, really, I searched everywhere. That gladiator is last one. In the center of this thing was an iron beam, from which a bunch of ropes led to these brick walls, and laundry was drying on them. One side was made with openings for good ventilation, and that part was easy to climb on, and of course I did, and I fell off it. I'm already on the edge of the city, and here is this magnificent estate. Well, it was the edge of the city about 15 years ago. Now the city is clearly expanding. I have no idea who owned this house, maybe a local businessman or some kind of big shot. But now this house is divided into residential and commercial zones. And when the goal of reaching the edge of the city has been achieved, it is time to show the truly respectable houses. These beautiful houses are relatively new, and they are, if not the best, then certainly better than most houses, including new builds. They do not have a permanent high number of floors, they are not overcrowded, they have a nice balconies, and I love balconies very much. They are brick, which improves sound insulation and fire safety, and they are just aesthetic. Not in Slavic aesthetic, but in real aesthetic. Beauty, delight. Let's move on the district square. Here you can climb around, kick a ball around, and just chill. It's time to some Slavic tricks. On this side of the road, beautiful, attractive new buildings and high quality brickstone houses. And on another side of the road is that great wall of depressive houses. Okay, by the standards of old houses in Russia, these are far from the worst, but I could not resist showing this curious contrast. And while I was posing here, it started raining again, and it was time to run into first cafe I could find to eat and wait out this rain. I ate chicken chimichurri with potatoes, and it cost me 500 rubles. Let's go to see the newest houses built in the last 5-10 years. This is one more road that divides the old district from the new one. And if we keep building such high-rise buildings, nothing good will come of it. I do not like the skyscrapers, but what I really like here are the yards. Наши слоны. I definitely need to make a tutorial on Russian memes. They are greener, better maintained, and more functional than the old yards. And do not get me wrong, most of the old yards are really nice. They have their own charm and they're quite functional. But sometimes you come across something like this and it upsets you. I have never seen anything like this in the new yards. And that is good. Okay, my babushka is waiting for her delivery. So let's head to the supermarket. I will show you the different options of stores. Let's start with the Dixie store. It's the cheapest store in our area, and I did not find the stuff I needed here. So let's move on to the next one. Pyaterochka. This store used to be on the same level as Dixie, but it decided to step it up a level. We go straight to the freezer and grab a turkey breast. Here 500 grams costs about 350 rubles. Now we're heading for fermented milk products. We need tvorog. The internet suggests that the closest alternative to tvorog is cottage cheese. We have been using tvorog for a long time. It can be eaten on its own or used in various dishes, for example, vatrushka. It is tvorog plus dough. Yeah, it also comes in a different fat variety. I need a low-fat version. A pack like this costs about 100 rubles. That is a little more than $1 and it contains almost 200 grams. It is time to pay and then visit other stores. But after the next sunrise. In the 2000s, this store had a bunch of stands selling all kinds of technology. As a child, this is the place where I went to buy discs for a PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast. Now it is just a hospital. But the neighboring building remained a space with a bunch of small shops, not only for electronics. Here a wide variety of food, clothing and household goods. The most impressive aspect for me is that it is still relevant today. Come on, I can buy tvorog by weight here. And the place that most resembles me 2000s is located at the exit of this building. The bazaar, street market. It has its own special vibe. We came here to buy meat and eggs long time ago, but now there is no need for that. And since it still exists, it means that people still come here. Even though there have been a lot of supermarkets for a long time now. And now it is time to show you a mid/high-end supermarket. I'm not sure about this, because I do not know if there are any more expensive ones in Obninsk, but probably not. This is Vkusville. Vkusville positions itself as offering healthier food. In my opinion, on average, the products here have better ingredients indeed. But if you just pick anything, the only difference will be in the price. But for ordinary people, there is an interesting section with 40% discounts on products with expiring shelf dates. And I was lucky today. On this shelf was kefir. And let's grab some light yogurt. It is like Greek yogurt, but with more protein. The order is complete and it is time to return home. Of course, there are numerous other stores here, such as alcohol store or tech stores, but the video time limit has been reached. You saw only a small part of Russia hidden behind the Kremlin and Moscow city. There are many places here, both old and modern, but all of them just as interesting as Obninsk. And I want to show them to you. Even Moscow, but not that high places, just usual Moscow. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications for all videos. До свидания.